What's up, everybody? It's Coach Colton here at Columbus Martial Arts. I hope you're having a great day today. Just want to do a quick video. I know we've been doing this parenting mini-series where we talk about some of the useful tips and tricks that you can use at home and how you can take your student up to the black belt level, both on and off the mats. We're doing a little break from that today. We'll hit that back next week. I want to do a two-part video, part one releasing today, part two releasing tomorrow, about 10 things that I wish every CMA parent knows or knows about. And these are things that we do here at the Academy. We've implemented them over time. So whether you're a new parent, you don't know about these, or whether you've been with us for a while, but maybe something slid underneath your radar, I want to make sure that you guys are taking advantage and know about these 10 different things. So to keep the video a little short today, we're just going to do the first 5. First thing I want to talk about are our stars. Sometimes when you walk around the academy, you'll see students that have stars on the collar or on the lapel of their uniform, and you don't get those in class. You know, it's not the stripes that you test for at the end of every class. It's not the belt that you take a test for. So what's up with the stars? Well, we have 2 different colors of stars, and they are used to incentivize black belt performance off of the mats. So the first color, blue, are used during report card time. If your student gets a report card from their school and they receive A's and B's, they get one blue star, or all A's, 2 blue stars. Sometimes we have younger students that maybe they're not doing the whole A's and B's things yet. They're doing the meets or exceeds or etc. They have that different scoring system. If they meet or better, 1 star. If they exceed everything, 2 stars. If you are a homeschooler student and maybe you don't get traditional report cards, just have your parent check in with us during those times and you'll get the stars that way. So blue stars are for academic performance. Gold stars are leadership and community stars. So you can get 1 gold star each month by completing the monthly homework assignment. Every month we have a word of the month, and we have a project for that word, and we post about that on our Facebook group. Some of you guys are probably watching this video on Facebook right now, whether you're watching it from our YouTube page or our main Facebook page. Make sure you're part of our family and friends group. It's a private group that you have to request access to. Once we accept that, you'll be able to both see the project and post the project in that group. And of course, as soon as the student completes that project, they'll get a gold star. We also use these gold stars for some of our events, whether we're raising money for charity, Toys for Tots, something we do on the holidays every year. We give out gold stars for different things that we do in the community to participate in and that kind of stuff. So blue stars, gold stars, mystery solved. Students, if you want to get the gold stars or the blue stars, make sure that you're doing awesome, not just here on the mats, but awesome at home, taking advantage of those things. And stars do follow in the belt rank order of how we line up at the beginning of class. And that is actually number 2. Some students know that we line up in formation at the beginning of class, but not every student knows how. Kind of like there's the order of operations when you're doing math problems, there is the order of belts when you come to class and line up. So when students arrive in class, they're not just standing in random order. The first thing to look at is their uniform color. Now, because our classes are divided by uniform color, usually all the students in the class are going to have the same colored uniform, unless we have a student trying out from one of our elite programs, which we'll talk a little bit about in part number 2. So first thing is uniform order. The next thing we look at is belt order. What color belt does the student have? If they have a higher belt, they stand to the front. If they have a lower belt, they stand to the back. But we're obviously going to have students that tie on their belt color. So if they're tied on their belt color, what do we look at next? We look at the stars. So if one student has a yellow belt, another student has a yellow belt, but this student has 2 stars, this student has no stars, the 2 stars would stand in front of the no stars. What if the stars are tied? Then we look at stripes. How many stripes do they have? Again, more stripes, you stand in the front, less stripes, you stand in the back. What if they're tied on stripes? Then we go off of the age of the student. Again, older students to the front, younger students to the back. What if they're tied on the age? Well, age is the last factor, so it's usually just whoever got there first. And there's a long-standing tradition of just respecting the older student that's worked hard and established them as a sign of respect. They stand to the front, and the younger student who's a little bit more novice stands to the rear. That also gives us some actual benefits when we're running the class, because when we're doing the warm-ups and things, if we're having the most experienced person lead the jog and being that line leader, then the less experienced person can kind of just look ahead and mimic and copy if they're not quite sure what to do. If we put that brand new student in front, they may feel a little bit of pressure leading and they might not know what to do, and it could cause the warm-ups to go slowly. So first thing we talked about, how to get those stars. Second thing we talked about is that welcome formation, that belt formation order. What is the rhyme and reason that we line up in that particular order? Third thing I want to talk about is the uniform. We talked about uniform color a little bit a moment ago, but you may see a couple of special uniforms that have different color collars. Those are called our ambassador uniforms. And there's only a few different times of the year and a few different ways that you can get that uniform. And usually it has to do with inviting students to special events or to classes. So one big event we have every year is our back to school bash. Another one that we have, possibly our biggest event, is our Halloween party. If you invite a particular number of students to those events, you may turn in that form saying, hey, I invited so-and-so, here's their information, and you get the ambassador uniform. And that's a very important part. Being a martial arts ambassador is huge. For one, you're leading by example. Just because you know how to beat people up doesn't mean that you're going around punching and kicking people. You're inviting people to train. You're being friendly with one another. You are a good leader. You have building that sense of community. For years and years, martial arts has been taught purely through word of mouth. You know, there are martial arts books out there, but if you're trying to learn how to defend yourself through a book, you're going to have a very tough time. Now with modern technology, can you watch videos? Yeah, does it help? Sure, but even still, nothing beats that hands-on experience of having great training partners, having a coach in real life, working it out. We can't just, put the VR headset on and suddenly, know how to defend yourself. So that's why passing on the traditions of martial arts is very important, in my opinion, and being an ambassador is such a great thing. And who doesn't want to train with their friends, invite friends from your school, get the ambassador uniform. The trim changes color depending on what color uniform the student starts with. So all of my white uniform students, their ambassador uniform is white with a blue collar. My junior elite is blue with a black collar. My elite is black with a red collar. And then my leadership have a red with a black collar. So if you're wondering about the ambassador uniforms, that's what they are. And we have our back to school bash coming up in August, which would be a great opportunity for those students out there who want to get that new suit to get that. Also, parents, if your student's going through a growth spurt, great way to get a free uniform. Next thing, junior black belt and beyond. Sometimes students think that black belt is the end. I went from point A to point B, or parents will ask me, Coach, how long does the program last? And there really isn't a hard definition on that. It's not, I can't say, hey, it's a year and a half and you'll be done, or it's 2 years and you'll be done. In truth, we're never done training. We have coaches, myself, Coach Ken, Coach Dom, Coach Manka, all have black belts, and we're still training martial arts. The key part of the black belt mindset is to better yourself. Not to get down and say, oh, I stink at this, this, and this. It's about positivity. It's about goal setting. It's about putting in hard work towards your goals. And we know that to achieve those goals, you're going to have certain skills, whether that's self-defense skills, whether that's waking up on time, whether that's being respectful, whether that's being a hard worker, not being lazy. And because we're constantly training in those skills, that we never really stop training in martial arts. So we have a program just for black belts. After your student achieves their black belt, they'll move to their junior black belt class where they'll train with all of the other black belts. The way I like to describe it as the black belt test, covers the most important, simplest, most effective self-defense movements. You have to cover those and master those to get your black belt. But that's kind of like exploring Earth and knowing everything that's going on here. There's a lot of things on Earth, don't get me wrong, and mastering that, it's going to take a good while. But outside, there's this whole outer space, tons of galaxies, tons of planets. There's so much advanced learning that you can do as well. And that will continue to work on those skills. And also, by then, students, if they made it to their black belt, they like the training. They want to learn the new punches and the kicks and the chokes and the things, and they feel good and happy learning those things. So I really have fun with my black belt class, being able to show them the upper levels of the advanced movements there. So how long do you train martial arts for? Well, as long as you can, as long as you're able to. There's 50, 60, 70-year-olds out there training martial arts, right? Last thing for today's video, wanted to talk a little bit about the Spark app, a complete game changer. And I was super skeptical, call me old school, but back we got the Spark app around COVID time, 2019, 2020. It's one of the things we did when we were trying to make our program the best that it could be in the times that we're in at that moment. And I was super skeptical about the martial arts app. I was like, martial arts school? Why does a martial arts school need an app? What? That's ridiculous. But then I got into it, I started using it, I started setting it up, and I found out how robust of a tool it was, how crazy it was. And then I really understood how important it was when schools came back from COVID and everyone was trying to do the virtual learning thing. And I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't even think virtual learning was going to work out, and did it, hit and miss. But the fact that students were able to get on the laptop, able to do some work, students were so savvy with the technology out there. Is usually the parents who didn't know how to operate this stuff. The students were logging in, doing that, and I found out how much technology was playing a role in student learning, and also in the classroom. Through tablets and computers and things, students are just so tech savvy nowadays that the app is clutch. It's key. It's critical. On the Spark app, we have multiple things. The biggest things first, monthly newsletter. You need to know what's going on at the academy. If we have special events that you want to be a part of, if we have tournaments or belt testings or things that you need to participate in, you want to know when they are. You want to plan for those things. So first thing is that monthly newsletter, super important. Second thing, all of the different training videos that are in the app. If your student is beyond the first 3 belts, they're getting into the intermediate and advanced belt levels, you can't really wing it anymore. You really need to study. You really need to know what's up. And if you're coming to class twice a week consistently, that's great. But you're going to need to train at home to complement the in-class learning as well. So watching those videos, understanding what's going on is so, so critical. We have the rule of 10,000. I talk to my students about it. The idea being, if you want to understand a movement, to build that muscle memory, you have to do it 10,000 times. And if you're coming to class twice a week for 45 minutes, are you going to be able to fit in 10,000? Yeah, but it's going to take you weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. So if you want to get to that number quicker, how can we do that? We can train at home. And maybe we don't remember the move exactly from when coach taught it on Monday. Now it's Thursday. What exactly was step 2, step 3? Let me pull up the video really quick, refresh myself, and now I can drill it at home. And our first couple of batches of black belts didn't have those videos. I bet they wish they did, because they had to get the 10,000 in class and commit to memory, and it was extraordinarily tough. And these videos definitely help. Also for families out there who have crazy schedules and you try to fit in the class schedules, but every once in a while you can't make it to class. Again, having those videos is going to keep your student on the track to their next belt. And I wanted to talk about belts and stripes and those things. That's a big topic. I'm going to put that in another video, but just hang on that really quick. If your student talks about not liking martial arts, or, oh, martial arts isn't fun anymore, it usually mirrors a time where they missed one of those stripe or belt testing goals. They didn't have enough stripes for testing. They missed the stripe that they need. They failed their belt test. It's not usually that martial arts is suddenly, not fun. It's that they really care and they really want to do well, but for whatever reason, it didn't happen for them at that time, and they're in that moment discouraged. So super critical. If your student's not practicing at home, watch the videos with them, help them set up a good environment for them to train at home also. Then maybe the final thing with the app, I think that's a little underused by parents, is the texting feature, okay? The texting feature is super awesome, easy communication. Do I love face-to-face communication? Yes. But the ability for a parent to send the coaches a message, just letting us know how the student's doing, helps the staff so much. I want to know if Billy got all A's on his report card. I want to know if Billy's keeping his room clean at home. I want to know if he's using his manners. I want to know if he's struggling with a bully, if he did something wrong, if he stole something. Just being able to keep the coaches in touch with the student and know about what's going on off the mats helps us cater the program more closely to that student and focus on the things that we need to work on with that student in particular. The curriculum helps us a lot and gives us the general outline, but every student is unique, and the more we know about what's going on in that student's home life, the better we can dial in and have a better, healthy relationship with that student moving towards their black belt. So parents out there watching this video, I want you to communicate with us. If you're not able to talk to the coach after class, use the texting function. Let us know what's going on, good, bad, or in between. Just keep us up to date with your student. Super important. And the fact that the student walks in and the coaches magically know that, hey, it was their birthday, they got all A's, whatever it is, just really shows the student how much the coach cares and how much a part of the group that they are. So it doesn't make them feel ostracized or, man, coach knew about everybody else's things they have going on, but he didn't know about me. We want that relationship with the students so that they really stay encouraged and they stay on that path. to their black belt. So just a couple quick things. If you're a CMA parent out there and you didn't know about these different tools that we have and these different programs, take advantage of them. The stars, the app, the ambassador uniforms, all of these things are just designed to take the experience that happens on the mats to the next level and make some of those behaviors and habits we're building transition at home and at school. I have parents tell me all the time, hey, Coach Colton, my students doing awesome in class, but I still have to talk to them 3-4 times at home, or they're still getting a note at school. What's going on? If you take these things and you can transition them successfully, it's going to build that habit 360 in every aspect of their life. So hope you're having a great day. Tune in tomorrow for part 2, where we've got 5 other things that are super important you can take advantage of, and that isn't just going to help the student, it's going to help the parent also. Have a great day. We'll see you on the mat soon. Bye, everybody.